Connected on the right, sir. Yep, I'm done. Yep, I'm done. Roger. Connected on the left. Done. Roger. Yes, sir. Disconnected. Roger.
If you're done with the generators, I can start the alignment. Roger that, Wilco.
Yes, sir. External power is...
What alignment do you want? Roger that, stored heading alignment. Alignment completed. You can go primary sync now. We're ready to taxi.
Needle's hot. Good. Yeah, ready. Roll left. Stabilizer down. Rudder left. Rudder right. Roll left. Rudder kick. Rudder neutral. Roll right. Kick. And rudder neutral. Rudder. Yes, sir. Chalk's out. And we're good to go, sir. Have a safe flight. Flaps down. Disconnect. Slats are out. Slats in, sir. Slats out.
Top gun check. 2. Push button 2. Top gun check. 2. Engine strings ground. Top gun 1 flight of 2 at ramp alpha. Request taxi to runway. Top gun 1 ground, roger. Taxi runway 8 via alpha. Contact tower holding short. Taxi runway 08 via alpha. Tower short. Top gun 1. Taxi check. Brakes. Check. Instruments. Needle left, ball right. Compass card decreasing. Needle right, ball left. Compass card increasing. Oxygen. Normal, normal on. Mass pressure good. Normal, normal on. Pressure good. Optical sight. Set. Harness and leads. Fasten and secure. Fasten and secure. Internal wing transfer. Normal. Stab logs. Engaged. Flight controls. Free and correct. Pressure's good. Anti-ice. Normal. Stab trim. Down 3. Fuel. 8/12. Off. Canopies to go. Roger. canopies. Close, lights out, stripes aligned. Close, lights out, stripes aligned, defog, foot heat. Set. Command selector valve open, lower guard down. Mine's down. Top Gun check. 2. Tower, Top Gun 1, flight of 2, holding short, runway 08, ready to go. Top Gun 1, Indian Springs Tower. Wind is 110 at 8, clear for takeoff, runway 8. Clear for takeoff, Top Gun 1. Before takeoff. External transfer. Off. Flaps. Down. Skid. On, lights out. Compass. Checked. Pitot heat. On. IFF. Normal. Circuit breakers. Mine are good. Mine are good. Warning lights. Out. Checklist complete. Let's go.
Engine's good. Airspeed's coming alive. 80 knots. 100 knots.
Okay, gear.
Gear's moving.
Flaps.
Gear up. Flaps up.
Alright, let's knock out the systems check as we join up on Cobra. Roger. Checks complete, weapons sweet. All set back here. flight at Rock on Highway 1, climbing to 20,000, over.
Top Gun 1, Nels Control, radar contact, continue.
Top Gun 1.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Your second hop will be a 1v1 dissimilar ACM against an F-86 simulating the MiG-17 with an instructor Rio in your back seat. You'll be armed with 4 AIM-9 Bravos and 4 AIM-7s, while the Bandit will have 2 AA-2 ATOLs and his internal guns. Soupy, you will fly JC, and I will be your Bandit for the day. I'll lead us to the range and back, join Nellis Highway 1 departure at Rock, climb to 20,000, and enter the range at maximum. Be sure you knock out the systems check and the rig stab-log check by then. I'll check in with range control on button 14 and proceed to Quartzsite Mountain. Do a quick G-warm, vent in, and begin the exercise. On our way out, we'll fly the lee recovery until Paiute, and then set up for the overhead brake. The aim of this hop is to learn how to defeat the MiG-17. It's much more agile and maneuverable than the Phantom. We'll practice lag pursuit, lag rolls, some high yo-yos, or as we call it, eggs. You'll see, it all comes down to energy maneuverability and the missile's firing envelope. The AIM-9 Bravo Sidewinder, you need to be within the firing cone behind the Bandit with less than 40 degrees angle off and less than 25 degrees if he's maneuvering. You can't just point your nose at him. You gotta be looking right up his tailpipe for the seeker head to get a lock. Maximum range is only a mile at sea level and about 2 miles at 20,000. Sidewinder is known to go bad with a lot of G's, so it's recommended to pull not more than 2 G's when you launch. Also, try and lead your target slightly in order for the infrared sensor to have time to activate and acquire the target after the missile is launched from the plane. Short lag is causing a lot of missiles to fly uselessly around Southeast Asia. The 1.5 seconds that the sequence requires for the trigger squeeze to the motor ignition seeker guidance, the Bandit can drift outside of the seeker head gimbal limits and the missile will go blind. Having an eye for relative motion is the key to success. Everything we'll learn today and throughout the course is centered around how to get in the envelope the quickest, which results in the quickest kill, which is safer. You're not predictable when you're not engaging long. Alright, let's review the training rules once again. Can't afford any mishaps and have the program shut down. We need 5-mile visibility, 15,000 feet between cloud layers. You need to perform a G-awareness maneuver before starting ACM. All aircraft need operable UHF and ICS 2-seater and must monitor guard. Nordo aircraft, rock your wings and proceed to Quartzsite Mountain, orbit at 15,000 feet. If no one joins on you, follow the Nordo recovery procedures in the in-flight guide. There's a 500-foot bubble around all aircraft. Head on past left to left, but don't cross flight paths to get there. Nose high aircraft goes high. Upsun aircraft is responsible for collision avoidance. Offensive aircraft, monitor the altitude of a defensive aircraft. Don't make blind lead turns. Echo all knock it off calls. Alright, get ready and see you at the ramp.
Check.
All centered. Ailerons look good.
Log off.
Top Gun 1, contact Blackjack on 377.8.
Top Gun 1 switching. Flight, go button 14. 2. Top Gun check. 2. Blackjack, Top Gun 1, flight of 2, passing maximum at 20,000 for Portside Mountain.
Top Gun 1, Blackjack, you are cleared into the range from surface to 30,000. Altimeter 2990.
2990, Top Gun 1. Let's knock out the G1. Take spread on my right. 2.
And I've been 3. I'm doing 2 on the where they are to me.
Top Gun 1, 90 left, now. Top Gun 1, 90 right, now. Inverted check, now. Okay, roll back upright, G1 complete. Alright, this is set at 15,000 feet to set up at Portside Mountain. Let me know when you're fenced and ready and we'll set up for the first exercise, alright?
2 copies. Alright, fence in checks.
Roll on.
Off.
Traffic flare set.
Set.
Sidewinder tone.
Up.
CW power.
On.
Interlocks.
Out.
Master on.
On.
Gun sight.
Air to air, 35 mils.
Raw.
Set.
Fuel.
Checked. 2's fenced.
Alright, good. Let's head north to set up at 15,000 feet, 400 knots. Establish a separation of 1.5 miles of beam on right wing.
Roger.
Alright, first we're going to show you what not to do. We'll set up for a defensive perch, 1.5 miles of beam, 15,000 feet, 400 knots. On my call, we'll both turn left 50 degrees, and I'll reverse into a gentle right turn. Place your pipper on me and plug in the blowers. I'll call fights on and pull. Your job is to keep the pipper on my jet. It's called pure pursuit. Don't squeeze the trigger, just keep tracking. Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
You find that you run out of airspeed very quickly and still won't be able to turn with me. If you slow below 350 in combat, you're only seconds away from death because either I'll come around and shoot you or the other MiG that you haven't seen will. You always want to keep your speed up. Speed is life. Alright, you ready?
Ready. Speed Angels on the left. Speed Angels on the right. Alright, tapes on, check left 50 degrees. Okay, I'm reversing my turn.
Alright, like the cans, place the pipper on them.
Roger. Tracking. Lights on. Lights on.
Alright, pull, keep them in your gun sight. And we're out of speed and dead. 2, knock it off.
1, knock it off.
See how quickly things can turn to shit when you don't keep your speed up?
Yes, sir. Alright, this is what you should never do against a MiG. Speed is life. Okay, let's get set for the second exercise where I'll show you what to do instead. Sounds good? Yes, sir.
We'll set up for a defensive perch just like before. You roll in, and you call when you're tracking, and that's when the fight starts. I want you to get into something we call lag pursuit. MiG turns in a circle with a much smaller radius and at a slower speed. Remember the Phantom's best sustained turn speed?
420 knots?
That's correct. It's a lot more than the MiGs, but you'll also fly it along a larger circle, concentric to the Bandit's turn. Instead of trying to turn inside the MiG's turn, which you can't do, slide to the outside. Along this larger circle, you can fly faster and use your larger turn rate to stay behind the MiG, push his smaller radius. You can actually turn with the MiG and gain speed until you have enough to target a missile on him and get a shot. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Stabilize a bogey approximately 30 to 35 degrees high at 12 o'clock and hold him there until the radar delay times have elapsed. They'll be well above your canopy rail. Lag pursuit can also make it very difficult for the Bandit pilot to maintain sight of the attacker, particularly when the attacker is on the cold side or near the bogey 6 o'clock. MiG turns well, but he also bleeds a lot of energy doing so. The Phantom is like a goddamn barn door in the air. You survive because of its 2 fuel-guzzling engines. Try to point your nose well behind the Bandit along its flight path. Visualize the circle he's flying along, then try to get to the outside of it. Imagine a 1-mile stick sticking out his tailpipe, like on the models you use during the briefings. You want to be at the end of that stick, but it's constantly moving away from you. Once you get there, you pull hard to place your pipper on me. When you get a tone, you pull just a little bit of lead, relax the pressure to get below 2 Gs, and fire. Easy. You ready?
Alright, tapes on, check left 50 degrees. Okay, I'm reversing my turn. Tracking. Lights on. Lights on.
Okay, get outside this turn circle. Keep your speed at 420 knots. Patience, don't give up your airspeed for angles.
Roger.
Radar contact nose 30 miles for the tanker. You said you had the radar contact on the goal? 17 miles nose. Roger, stand by.
You're at 400 knots. We're getting too slow. Ease your pull and get to the outside of this turn.
Roger. You're doing it all wrong. Let's try it again. Knock it off. I'm ready. Speed Angels on the left. Speed Angels on the right. Alright, tapes on, check left 50 degrees. Okay, I'm reversing my turn. Tracking. Lights on. Lights on.
Okay, get outside this turn circle. Keep your speed at 420 knots. Don't give up your airspeed for angles.
Roger.
Radar contact, nose 30 miles for the tanker. You said you had the radar contact on the Gulf? Gulf, 30 miles nose. Roger, step back.
You're at 400 knots. We're getting too slow. Ease your pull and get to the outside of the stern.
Roger. Copy, kill, knock it off. 2, knock it off. Alright, good job. See what a big difference lag pursuit can make? Yes, sir. Let's set up for another one, take it one step further.
Alright, this time we'll take the lag pursuit one step further. When jockeying for a shot, you can face two problems. Either the angle off is too high and you're not looking up his tailpipe, or you got too close. Minimum launch distance of the A9 Bravo is 1,000 feet. Speed reduction may not be desirable, since a speed advantage often provides a maneuverability advantage, particularly below corner speed. The attacker may lose maneuvering potential. An out-of-plane maneuver is often the best alternative in this situation.
Okay.
Let's say the bogey's pulling hard to the right and you're closing at about 400 knots. You see you're going to overshoot. The attacker levels his wings and pulls nose up out of the defender's plane of turn. Resulting climb reduces speed and the component velocity in the defender's direction. The attacker continues to pull up, possibly also pulling somewhat towards the bogey's flight path in a rolling pull maneuver to ensure that he passes above and behind the defender as he crosses his flight path. A slow, continuous roll to the outside enables the attacker to maintain sight throughout, and he passes above and behind the defender, essentially inverted. Trading airspeed for altitude in this maneuver allows the attacker to maintain his total energy better than if he had simply pulled more G in a level turn. In low G conditions, once the climb is established, may even allow for energy addition. From then on, the attacker benefits from the gravity assist in the nose-low turn, allowing him to pull the bogey closer to the nose and position offensively in lag pursuit. Really neat maneuver. If the bogey reverses at the apex of your roll, continue to roll around his flight path through another 270 degrees and use lag pursuit techniques. Ready to give it a go?
Ready. Alright, when I reverse my turn, get into a firing position, but don't shoot. Just keep closing. When you get too close, I want you to do a barrel roll to the left, get in a lag pursuit. You can either fire a Fox 2 or close in and do another barrel roll of practice. Alright, let's do it. Roger. Leading Angels on the right. Alright, tapes on, check left 50 degrees. Okay, I'm reversing my turn. Tracking. Lights on. Lights on.
Alright, get into leg pursuit, but don't fire. Let's get within 1,000 feet of him.
Roger.
Three-quarter miles. This is the heart of the envelope. Let's get closer. 3,000 feet. 2,000. 1,000. Pull up and barrel roll to the left. Rudders only, no ailerons. Alright, now get back into leg pursuit and kill him.
Roger. Box 2. Kill bandit. Copy, kill, knock it off. 2, knock it off. Alright, you're getting the hang of this. In the last engagement, I'll teach you the most important maneuver of the entire course. Ready? Yes, sir.
Alright, this last one will be a butterfly set, and this time I'll shoot back. We start off a mile and a half abeam, 15,000 feet, 400 knots. When I call for cutaway, we turn 50 degrees away from each other. Then when I tell you, reverse your turn and turn back into me to make a head-on left-to-left pass happen. Once we pass each other, I'll call flights on. Clear so far?
Clear?
Okay, I want you to hit the merge at 450 knots minimum, because you'll need to pull up into the vertical and do an egg. Gang showed it to you on your fan flight, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. The F4 is estimated to have a thrust-to-weight advantage of about 20%, but a wing loading 80% greater than that of the MiG. So the MiG will probably turn hard left or right. Bury the stick in your lap. Pull 5 Gs until you're going straight up. You can even get a little bit on your back so that you can keep track of the bandit. At around 150 knots, you start pulling back just on the edge of light buffet. From then on, your only goal is to get into the firing envelope. Use the rudder to get where you need to be. Don't come screaming back in with the pipper on me. You want to pull outside of my turn, looking straight up my tailpipe or within 40 degrees, about a mile and a half distance. If you mess it up, unload, pull up into another egg.
Okay, but what if you follow me?
I can't. The 17 has to keep up its speed to utilize its turning advantage, but every time it turns, it bleeds energy. Phantom has an afterburner, which will help it to escape after its turns. Most 17s don't. So the Phantom, extending speedily with every turn in order to keep out of the MiG's weapon range, is going to try to make the 17 turn a lot, which would eventually render it slow and vulnerable. Meat on the table. Another factor of prime concern to the F-4 pilot is sun position. Whenever practical, each extension and pitch back should be made in the direction of the sun, forcing the opponent to look up sun as much as possible. This is particularly important in the rear quarter missile scenario, since maintaining sight is more difficult for the bogey pilot in such situations, and the presence of the sun also may preclude a heat-seeking missile shot during the extension or subsequent pitch back. Make sense?
Yes, sir. Speed Angels on the left. Speed Angels on the right. Alright, tape's on. Take the other way. Turn back in. Left to left. Left to left. Lights on. Lights on.
Alright, pull. Keep the nose parked up high. Look back over your shoulder and see what he's doing. At 150 knots, it's time to pull back over the top. Imagine the optimum firing position, but don't go where it is now. Go where it's going to be when you pull out.
We have an aircraft within 10 miles of this opposite direction.
Correction, I'm in 3.
He's at our 5 o'clock.
Fox 2.
12 o'clock, 12 o'clock. 2 o'clock now. He's at our 9 o'clock. He's at our 9 o'clock low. 6 o'clock high. 6 o'clock high. He's on our 6. He's gonna fire. He's at our 6 o'clock. New bogey, left 5, 1 mile, 6,500. Two o'clock now. Yeah, no IFF. He's at our 11 o'clock. Four o'clock high. 7 o'clock now. 6 o'clock now. 6 o'clock now. Eleven o'clock now. 12 o'clock now. Two o'clock now. 12 o'clock now. He's at our 11 o'clock. He's at our 12 o'clock. 9 o'clock high now, 9 o'clock high. He's at our 3 o'clock. 7 o'clock now. He's at our 8 o'clock.
Alright, this last one will be a butterfly set, and this time I'll shoot back. We start off a 1.5 mile abeam, 15,000 feet, 400 knots. When I call for cutaway, we turn 50 degrees away from each other. Then when I tell you, reverse your turn and turn back into me to make a head-on left-to-left pass happen. Once we pass each other, I'll call flights on. Clear so far?
Clear?
Yeah, I want you to hit the merge at 450 knots minimum, because you'll need to pull up into the vertical and do an egg. Gang showed it to you on your fan flight, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. The F4 is estimated to have a thrust-to-weight advantage of about 20%, but a wing loading 80% greater than that of the MiG. So the MiG will probably turn hard left or right. Bury the stick in your lap. Pull 5 Gs until you're going straight up. You can even get a little bit on your back so that you keep track of the Bandit. At around 150 knots, you start pulling back just on the edge of light buffet. From then on, your only goal is to get into the firing envelope. Use the rudder to get where you need to be. Don't come screaming back in with the pipper on me. You want to pull outside of my turn, looking straight up my tailpipe or within 40 degrees, about 1.5 mile distance. If you mess it up, unload and pull up into another egg.
Okay, but what if you follow me?
I can't. The 17 has to keep up its speed to utilize its turning advantage, but every time it turns, it bleeds energy. Phantom has an afterburner, which will help it to escape after its turns. Most 17s don't. So the Phantom, extending speedily with every turn in order to keep out of the MiG's weapon range, is going to try to make the 17 turn a lot, which would eventually render it slow and vulnerable. Meat on the table. Another factor of prime concern to the F4 pilot is sun position. Whenever practical, each extension and pitch back should be made in the direction of the sun, forcing the opponent to look up sun as much as possible. This is particularly important in the rear quarter missile scenario, since maintaining sight is more difficult for the bogey pilot in such situations, and the presence of the sun also may preclude a heat-seeking missile shot during the extension or subsequent pitch back. Make sense?
Yes, sir. Speed Angels on the left. Speed Angels on the right. Alright, tape's on. Take the other way. Turn back in. Left to left. Left to left. Lights on. Lights on.
Alright, pull. Keep the nose parked up high. Look back over your shoulder and see what he's doing. At 150 knots, it's time to pull back over the top. Imagine the optimum firing position, but don't go where it is now. Go where it's going to be when you pull out. 1 o'clock. Show me some of that pilot shit.
Kill bandit. Copy kill, knock it off. 2, knock it off.
Shit high, we got him.
Nicely done. Alright, join up and cruise. Let's head back for the debrief. 2.
So how did you like your first 1v1?
Oh, it was incredible. I had no idea I could turn with a MiG. And the egg, that's just brilliant.
Yeah, it's only the beginning. Alright, let's fence out before we leave the range. I'm all set in the back.
Switch is safe, fenced out. Blackjack, Top Gun 3, Flight of 2, checking in at Maxim. Top Gun 3, Blackjack, we have you on the scope. You are cleared into the range from surface to 30,000, altimeter 2990. Top Gun 3. That is checked. No leaks, no missing panels, everything looks good.
Rejoin with Ivan 2.
Ivan 3. Good as well. Top Gun 1 at Caesar, checking out an RTB. Blackjack copies, have a nice day. Top Gun 1, go button 5. 2. Top Gun check. 2. Nose control, Top Gun 1 flight 2 passing Caesar on the lee recovery at Indian Springs, over.
Top Gun 1, nose control, radar contact.
Alright, while we're flying back, I want you to think about how you did. At the end of each debrief, we summarized the most important points in 2 columns, the goods and the others. The goods are the things you did well and want to keep doing well. The others are things you need to work on. So think about what items you would put in these columns after today's hop, okay?
Roger. Not sure I'll have many items in the goods.
Hey, it's okay to have a couple items in the others. There's always room to improve, and identifying the problem is the first step. Just make sure you don't make the same mistakes on multiple flights, alright?
Okay, understood.
Don't worry, you got this. It wasn't a bad first hop. Just think about how you'll teach all these lessons to your squadron, okay?
Roger.
Raven 1, maintain 12,000 for traffic.
Raven 1.
Talon 3, heads up, traffic 10 o'clock low, 2 F-100s heading west.
Roger, we have the traffic in sight. Send checks.
Defog for heat.
Set.
Bearing distance selector.
Set.
Altimeter.
Set.
Antenna.
Upper.
Armament switches.
Safe.
Landing light.
On.
Fuel.
Checked.
Talon 3, climb flight level 210.
210, Talon 3.
airspace change, 275.8.
Bravo 1 copy, cleared to switch. Have a nice day. Top Gun 1, contact Indian Springs on 358.3.
Top Gun 1 switching. 2, push button 3.
2.
Top Gun check.
2.
Tower, Top Gun 1 flight at 2 at Paiute for the overhead full stop. Top Gun 1, Indian Springs Tower, altimeter 29090, report 3 mile initial, runway 8. Top Gun 1, Wilco. Indian Springs Tower. Roger. Wind is 1108. Cleared for the overhead runway 8. Top Gun 1. Top Gun 1 1 beam gear, full stop. Top Gun 1-1, clear to land, runway 8. 1-1.
Fuel flaps are down. Check pressures, warning lights, and anti-skid.
Pressure's good. Skid on.
Top Gun 1-2, abeam, gear, stop.
Top Gun 1-2, clear to land, runway 8.
Top Gun 1-2.
Top Gun 1, clear the active when able, contact ground. Top Gun 1, Wilco, 2, go button 2.
2.
Top Gun check.
2.
Ground, Top Gun 1's cleared the active.
Top Gun 1, roger. Cleared to taxi to ramp Alpha.
Top Gun 1. After landing checks.
Skid.
Off.
Command center valve closed, radar off, pressure's good, lower guide up.
Mines up.
Taxi light.
Set.
Flaps.
Up.
Drag chute.
Jettison.
Stab odds.
Off.
Internal wing dump.
Normal.
ILS.
Off.
NIS.
Normal.
Rattle.
Off.
Stab trend.
Down 3.
Reference system selector.
Standby.
Rain removal.
Off.
Pitot heat.
Off.
IFF. Formation lights.
Off.
Sight shutter.
Closed.